Questions for Andy, please?
Hi Andy. Congratulations. Where does that performance rank alongside your other major final performances?
I mean, I don't think that was one of me and Novak's best matches. I think we've played better matches together. I think, the end of the match was, exciting and dramatic, but, there was mistakes from both of us. So I think, probably played better matches, but, I was solid enough when I needed to be. I didn't make loads of mistakes, and I think, although I maybe made a few more mistakes than I would have liked, I think tactically I played a good match, and it was it was obviously a good performance. You never beat a player as good as Novak if you don't play well. I'm not suggesting I played a bad match. I just think, the two of us have played better matches than that one.
Andy, you mentioned the other day how you can only ever beat the players you're drawn against, but I wonder, does it give you particular satisfaction to have clinched the year-end world #1 position, having beaten the guy who's been the most successful player in the game over the last 5 years?
I don't know if satisfaction is the right word. I mean, it's obviously, it was a big match against, someone who I've played so many big matches against in my career. I mean, that would be my main rival really throughout my career. We played in all of the Slam finals, Olympics, obviously here now in a match, to finish the year #1. We played in loads of Masters Series finals as well, and are 1 week apart in age. So, it was obviously a big match and a very important win for me. In a sort of, it was just a huge match to finish the year, to try and obviously finish #1, and obviously this is a major event as well, and one that I've not done well in the past. So it's been a great week.
Andy, how difficult was it to serve out for the match? What goes through your mind, because that's such a momentous occasion?
Yeah, the 4-1 game was a tough game to lose. I was up 31 in that 30-15 in that game, and served a poor serve. I didn't hit my second serve well today at all. Maybe first game I served a couple of double faults, and after that didn't hit it that well. And then when I got broken at 4-1, Novak definitely started to hit the ball a bit bigger. He was getting closer to the baseline, and I was starting to back off a little bit. So that last game was obviously a tough one, and thankfully he made a few mistakes. But I did come up with some good serves in that game. And one point in particular, I think it was maybe 15-all or 30-all when I came forward, and to hit the drop volley there. That was an important point as well.
Andy, how did you feel this morning when you woke up, and did you sort of feel better as the day went on and as the sort of match went on?
No, I felt tired. I felt tired. I slept well last night, but I didn't feel great this morning, and the practice, the warm up for the match. I was hitting the ball fine, but just a bit sluggish and a bit heavy legged. But thankfully, the first sort of 7 games of the match, there was no long rallies really at all, which is for us is strange. Novak came out and served great his first couple of service games. I got a lot of free points off my first serve as well, and it wasn't really until the middle of the second set when the rallies started to get extended and longer that my legs were starting to feel it, and that's why it became harder as well to close the match out, because I knew that the longer the match went, the worse I was going to feel, and probably the better he was going to play too. So I was lucky I got it finished in 2 sets.
Andy, Ivan has said in the past that when you retire, it's the kind of the amount of majors you've won rather than the weeks at number one that you'll remember. You're going to be number one now, I guess, for a minimum 2 months. Is the priority going to be back to being the majors, or will holding on to number one sort of be up there with it?
I mean, I would like to try and stay there, obviously. I mean, it's taken, a huge effort the last, 5-6 months to get there. So I would obviously like to stay there. I'm aware that that's going to be extremely difficult because I had, a great year this year and I only managed to do it by one match. So, to repeat that again next year is going to be extremely difficult. But now that I've got there, I would obviously, would be motivated to try and stay in that position. But yeah, I mean, the majors are, what gets me working hard and what really, really motivates me. And when I go away in December to train, I'm training with the Australian Open in mind. And, because of the best of 5 set matches, they're the ones that you have to really put in the extra work for and the extra training for. So, that's what motivates me.
Can you rank the achievement of being a year-end number one amongst all your achievements in your career? And did it feel better? Did it make a difference playing Novak, being the number one ranked player? Does it give you something extra against him?
No, I don't think it did. I think, it's not so much the ranking. I mean, everything that he's achieved, still you have massive respect for everything that he's done and for him as a player, obviously. I think it's just maybe more that the last few months because I've, won a lot of matches and he's not been playing his best, that maybe in the important moments today that I was just a little bit more solid, maybe had that extra little bit of confidence, which, in the past when we played each other, maybe he's had. So that was maybe a bit of the difference today rather than the rankings, I think.
And behind a great man is always a huge woman. And Djokovic said nice words about your wife, how she handled the situation with the child, with the girl and whatever. Why do you think he said that today? Because this wife is really fantastic, because you talk with him about this, because it's really a great part in your success?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, when me and Novak speak with each other, we don't talk about tennis and rankings and the matches that we play against each other. Maybe when we finish playing, that might change, but we talk about each other's, families and children and stuff. And we chatted at length this year quite a lot because obviously, I became a father the first time, and we spoke about the difficulty in keeping the sort of balance in your life with the family and the traveling and the work and everything. So, yeah, I mean, I think what both of us have been with our now wives a long time, pretty much since we were like 18, 19 years old. So, and we met each other's wives together at that age as well. So we've known each other a very long time, and regardless of what some of you may think, we have a good relationship, and we've it's not always easy when you're playing on court in the biggest matches with a lot at stake, but we've always gotten well with each other and each other's teams and families.
Andy, we tend to define men's tennis by the foremost players of the generation. So we've had Pete Sampras eras and Roger Federer eras. How excited are you at the prospect of making this the Andy Murray era?
I've never thought about that. Never given that any thought at all. I would obviously want to try and achieve as much as I can these next few years, because I'm not going to be around forever, and I'm not going to be able to play at this level and play this many matches for into my mid-30s. So these next few years, obviously, I want to try and make them the best of my career, and yeah, try and win as much as I can. But it's going to be tough because as you get older, you know, the young guys are going to keep improving and getting better, and there's some really good young ones now, and it's going to be hard, but I'll try to keep going.
Andy, I just wanted to get your thoughts on the state of the game right now. A lot of the players have said that they like the position of the game right now. The numbers seem to be up for viewership. There's Federer and Nadal are coming back next year. Got a lot of young talent coming up. Just talk about where the game is right now.
Yeah, I mean, this year I think has been hard in some ways because of Roger and Rafa missing large parts of the year, and you know they have massive fan bases. You know the two of them. You know, not for everything they've achieved on the court, but they're obviously you know charismatic guys and are very very popular. So that's been tough this year, but you know I hope these next few years are exciting. If you know if the two of them can come back and be healthy, and then you know some of the younger guys who I think they're going to be great players, but I think a few of them are really exciting personalities as well with exciting games too. So. I think it's in a good place just now, but it'd be better if the two of them were fit.
Yeah. Andy, right after your Wimbledon win, some pundits and even the general press started calling you the best British sportsman ever. Are you aware of that, and what is your take on the subject?
Well, yeah, I mean, I've been asked about it a few times since then, but I have no idea, and there's always an impossible question to answer. I mean, in tennis terms, yeah, in terms of my achievements over the years, I could say I'd be the best tennis player from the UK, but in terms of the best athlete, we've had many great athletes across a number of different sports, so it's impossible to say. It depends what your preference is, really, what sports you like and which sports you think are the hardest.
When we sat here yesterday talking about this match, you were sort of reflecting on the fact that it wasn't enough. That people said, oh, you hadn't beaten any top 5 players, and then you beat loads of top 5 players, and then they said, oh, you got to beat Djokovic, and now you've beaten Djokovic. How important is it to you personally to have done that, or how important to have shown all those people, yes, well, I can do it? And a second part of the question, where's the party tonight?
No, were you wanting to join again? No party tonight, actually. I think we'll go out for dinner tomorrow night. I haven't been home for the last few nights. I've been staying in the hotel, so we're going to go home. But I think tomorrow with the team, we'll definitely go out for dinner and then see afterwards what happens. Yeah. What was the first part of the question?
What was more important to you, for yourself, beating Novak and putting the seal on the year like that, or to show all the people who said, oh well, you got to number one without beating Novak, doesn't really count? What was more important in your own head?
Yeah, no, I think for me, because it's obviously a match up that over the last couple of years I've lost a lot of the big matches against him, and this one was a big match, and I managed to get over the line, and it was tough at the end, but mentally that will again give me a boost going into next year as well. But no, it's more more for myself really, because yeah, it doesn't really matter what anyone else says. It's kind of how you feel inside. And I'm also happy for my team as well, because they put a lot of work into getting me ready for these matches, and I've lost a lot of them over the years, so it's nice and happy for them that I managed to win a big one like this.
Last question, please. Okay, Andy, this year you became Rio Olympic champion and Wimbledon champion, and of course ATP World Final champion. So how do you feel? Congratulations! Yeah. How do you feel the feeling? How can you compare the feelings of the 3 different championship. The last half question is, what would you say if you had some suggestion for Chinese tennis fans, because you also won a Shanghai Masters this year?
Well, I mean, all of the big events that I won this year, you know, they're different. The Olympics felt really special, I think, because of the way the match was. It was a really, really hard match and tough match against Del Potro in the final. So that one felt, you know, the most satisfying, and that was, you know, it was a big week for me. That one, you know, I got to carry the flag at the opening ceremony, which was incredibly special, and again, something I didn't expect to ever get the chance to do. So, and then to finish with a gold medal again was great. So the Olympics for me was, in terms of one match, probably would have been the most special one.